Never. I got off of parole when I was 25, nigga, and I was sharp than a motherfucker already.
Where you was at? What YA you was at?
I was in OH, nigga. They sent me through Preston. And
Preston was rocking and rolling. Preston was on.
D. Witt Nelson, Carl Holden and shit.
But Holden is a them juvenile camps. They used to send me to the hole in Holden from Miller. They used to take me over there to your hole over there. All the time, all that. Yeah, they used to take me to the hole over there. They thought I was gonna keep something going on.
Yeah.
I sit back and think about it. I was a fucked up little crafty motherfucker. Now the judge wasn't lying. Them motherfuckers wasn't lying.
Hey, but tell the truth, you had to be a young fighting motherfucker though, boy. Because in '92, nigga, I was just getting out.
It was like 3-4 Crips to a hairy blood, nigga.
We used to get jumped.
You wasn't that shit wasn't in style like right now. It's in style to be a blood. I'm laughing at this shit. I'll be like, nigga,
back then, nigga, they drop your ass off over Nellis, nigga, you finna get jumped, nigga. Don't matter, they jumping everybody, nigga. The Mexicans rushing everybody.
I did 2 years off 9 months. I didn't even know I was paroled. I stopped going to board. I just got bored today, man. Fuck board. I'm here telling me fuck. Yeah, because you and this motherfucker, you fight this shit. All that kind of crazy shit. That was Gladiator school. You know that.
No, that shit was Gladiator school, boy. I told nigga, I said, man, that shit, boy, made me sharp. By the time I turned 25, shit, okay.
So you paroled at what? 20 what? What? 20? How old was you when you paroled?
Shit, man. No, I was a little older. I was 20-something, man. Because you got to look at that shit, man. Come on, man. I went to YA in '88 or some shit, nigga. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then right after that, I went to the. So I get out right at 16. I get out, and I go right, man. I ain't home a couple months. I catch a shooting, but the shit really wasn't my fault, right? Now this one really wasn't my fault. It's right. So I'm trying to make it to mom's crib. The earthquake had happened, and I dropped my wife off. Like that's my wife in that picture right there.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. Damn, y'all been together that long?
We've been together since '91. That's she boss in that picture.
What's your recipe, Wack? How you keep that? Like
you gotta always keep your foundation. Gotta be your friendship. That way, when y'all going through something, right? You got something to hold on to. You ain't got nothing to hold on to. It ain't gonna bring you back because y'all gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like over the years, the more years that pass, shit be happening. Like you get to thinking about shit. Get to thinking about when she took that case. You get to thinking about she was doing all that running into the institutions. You get to think about
putting up the guns and shit, nigga.
Yeah, you get to think about you left with 100,000 and came back and the money was still there. You start thinking about this shit and it's like then you start thinking about your friendship. You know what I mean? Because that's the foundation of every relationship. Without that, it ain't shit. It ain't nothing. You know,
that's even
friend, you can do without it.
Hey, you know what? That's even in the homeboyship. You know, that's what kept a nigga alive through this shit. Like, nigga, I take my time and I meet my homies and shit, nigga, when I get to meet them, you know what I'm saying? We got to get to understand each other, you know what I'm saying? And, that's how
That's why I tell a nigga, yeah, about the third time, I'm going to tell him no. Or I might tell him no out the gate just to see how he react.
Yeah, because you got to test him.
You know what I'm saying?
Because, that's that.
If you do something for a nigga 10 times, you do something for a nigga 9 times, and then the 10th time you tell him no,
he's going to go crazy.
Smear campaign on you. You regret doing everything else for the nigga. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he'll sucker then. He become a sucker. See, you know what? But you from a different era, Wack. I hear like I be in a lot of rooms, blood. And I be hearing a lot of niggas just be, you know, me, I just kind of sit back because, you know, I don't be in all that little bitch shit anyway, like, you know. But, you know, you from a different era. And then if you went through that YA, and then, you know, motherfuckers really, and then look how you basically a success story, but you know every side. Motherfuckers ain't gonna understand. They ain't gonna understand that nigga. They ain't gonna understand a nigga that know all sides of the board. That shit is unusual.
Nah, it is. Niggas is usually,
you know what I mean?
Hey, Wack, I got a question.
Dead or niggas don't know all sides of the board. I didn't.
Did you hear what he said?
Shit, I didn't play like, bro. That's why I tell a nigga, I be like, yo, bro, listen, I got so much training in me for so many different things to play in so many different ways. I tell a nigga, I be like, bro, it's like, you don't want to go playing with me, like, especially these young niggas. I'm like, look, bro, learn from me. Don't challenge.
Yeah, because that YA shit right there, just that right there alone, making it through Gladiator through.
Listen, bro, I was in Solidad when I was 16. I got a J number, nigga. J4917.
So you was one of the homies. You was one of the homies that went straight to the pen right from there.
First, I went. No, listen. They let me out. I kept it shooting. I get out. I kept it shooting. Right. So now by this time, you got to remember, I didn't beat a body. I didn't beat attempted murder. I've been paid attorneys since I've been 12, 13 years old. Literally, stepping up in there with high-powered attorneys. My family was one of them families. They was getting money the way everybody was getting money, right? So it wasn't shit. You know, once I started getting caught up, same motherfuckers defending them was defending me, right? So I'm trying to get to Miles' house. I think I might have cut a nigga off by accident. I ain't tripping. I didn't realize it. When I make a right, I see a nigga come out the left-hand turning lane and make a wide right. I'll never forget this shit. It was in a Volkswagen Beetle. I'll never forget this shit. So I stopped at the light, and the nigga pulled up on the side, but like, he pulled up on the curb and parked, and the nigga was talking, and I can't really, I had my windows up, but that nigga jumped out that car, my nigga. That nigga come out his waistband. He had one of them long-nosed Jesse James fofos.
One of them, what cool man call it that nigga.
Yeah, I think the nigga, because he was talking shit, and I wasn't responding to him, I was really focused on getting to Mom's house, that the nigga mother, I don't know what he thought. So once I seen it, back then, we were riding lap strap, shit on the lap, right? That's only the way a nigga stay. I get out on a nigga through the window. When I get out on a nigga through the window, he jumps in the bunk and speeds away. Now you got my attention miles away. Right? I run the nigga out. This stupid nigga keep making lefts. So every time he make a left, he target practice for me, right? The nigga runs up in the garage and closes the garage. Now, this is where I fucked up at. I jump out the car in the middle of the street. I'm walking up on the garage like I'm motherfucking Clint Eastwood or something. I'm gunning the garage down, right? Reclip, gun the house down. I get to Mom's crib. I tell my mama, I say, hey, don't drive that Cadillac. I just got into something. I'm going to run up here and check on my brother. I'll be right back. Man, listen. I run up there and check on bro. I'm coming down the street. I see a Cadillac pulled over. I said, damn, that motherfucking Cadillac look just like mine. Motherfucker done copycat my shit, right? Closer I get, that motherfucker don't look like mine. That motherfucker is mine. My mama pulled over in the car, right? I ain't even thinking. I ain't tripping. It's one black and white. I get out the car, and I know she ain't got no license. And then she ain't got no license. I see, I got license. I drive her back in this lady's vehicle here. So they're like, well, you know her? I'm like, yeah, that's my mother. They're like, yeah, can you stand here a second? I ain't tripping. About 3-4 minutes, another black and white pulled up. This is when I learned what a field identification was. Field ID. Nigga in the back street of the car. Point me out. They cuff me. Right? So I go to jail. They charge me with 2 counts of assault with deadly weapon because of a chick in the car. Firing into an inhibited vehicle. Discharging firearm in city limits. right? And some other shit. So as soon as I step in there, they see I done beat all these other cases. They see I'm on parole because I'm out of YA. They say he's unfit to go to juvenile court. We charged him as an adult, right? So long story short, I'm sitting there fighting the case. I'm looking at like 17 years at the time, right? So they're like, we're going to send him back to SRCC for a fitness hearing, right? Now, you got to understand, bro. Niggas, and back then in my generation, them niggas was on some savage, fucked up shit in jail.
Man, what do you mean? Stupid savagery.
That's why, like, niggas was fucked up. So when I get to SRCC, they send me the motherfucking, to Drake Cottage, to the 90-day cottage, right? It's usually all new booties, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm there on their 90-day number, right, they see me there. I get there, the motherfuckers throw me in a cell. So I'm in a cell under the first little quarantine. 3 days go by, they put another nigga in the cell. I'll never forget this shit. They come in the cell. You know our old game. They come in the cell, I hit him up. What's up, cuz? Where you from? Off the rip. Right? That's just what the gangs we play.
Yeah.
The nigga tell me I'm from Moreno Valley, Death Wish Crips, some crazy shit like that, right? I'm like, is that right? I tell the nigga I'm from A-Train Gangster. So that's it, nigga, right? So he in the cell the whole time. He telling me all these war stories. He dissing. He like, yeah, nigga, we did these blood niggas like this. We did these other niggas like this. I'm
hey, you had to bend him up, huh?
Look, I'm listening to the nigga right the whole time, right? I'm like, yeah, cuz, that's right, that's gangster, right? I'm fucking with the nigga. So I wait till about 3-4 o'clock in the morning, right? Then I let him know who I am. I wake him up with a flurry of jabs. In his room, I'm punching on him, right? He like, oh, no, ain't no, nigga. I'm beating this nigga up for everything he done told me he did.
They done forgot about the chitty bang bang, huh?
Listen, right? So you gotta understand, this dude first time in YA. I'm a returning, right? So I'm beating the shit out this nigga, right? So about 6:30, 6:45, 7, they come rack the doors. They tell us it's time to go to breakfast. He on quarantine still, right? So he waiting for that tuberculosis shot to go down, right? So when I'm at breakfast, they serve him breakfast in the cell. So when they went to serve him, he fucked up. He looking like the Elephant Man, right? So I come back. They like, Jones, everything all right? I said, yeah.
They called you up to the fishbowl?
Everything cool. They like, no. They give me the day room. Our knuckles up with the t-shirts. Remember, we cut the t-shirt up, wrap the knuckles up, so that we ain't cutting ourselves and shit. I saw in my hand. They like, yeah, you're selling, man. Seemed to me like he was in a fight. So shit, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Shit, man.
I don't know what's going on with that nigga.
I'm like, man, them cool, right? So they're like, all right, well, we send him to the infirmary. You can go on back in the cell. Now, back then, you remember anything happened on the cottage.
Y'all nigga, bro.
Look,
oh, no, that's how it used to happen, nigga. What you talking about, boy?
Hold on, they got to call the sergeant in, right? If anything happened on the cottage. So I'm in the cell, so I hear the sergeant come in, right? He like, yeah, what's going on? Where was the dude from? They're like, well, he was from Death Wish Crip, some Moreno Valley Crip, some IE or whatever. They're like, well, what about the dude in there? They're like, he a non-affiliate. Like, what's his name? They said, right here, like, Jones Cash. He said, Cash Jones.
Hey, nigga, I know your name, nigga.
Listen.
Hey, listen, you was one of the first niggas that did go to prison.
Listen to me. Yeah, listen to me, right? So he said, Cash Jones, motherfucker, that ain't no non-affiliate. So this is Sergeant Hayes, I'll never forget. He like, no, look, he on a 90-day number. He like, what does it say at the bottom? Continue. When they hit that return button to continue, all this YA shit popped up. All the riots, the fights, the stickings. He like, man, you put a Crip in the cell with this motherfucker? He come down there to the room, bang on the door. I said, hey, what up, Hazel? He like, you know what up, my motherfucking ass? Roll your shit up. You know where you go. I said, where I'm going? He said, man, I know what time it is. I said, man, I don't know. He says, I don't know what you're talking about, right? He like, you going to the hold. They sent me to the hold. I remember I'm only here 9 days on the 90 day. So they sent me to the hold that morning. That next morning, they came and got me, sent me back to juvenile hall. So I go back to Central, right? I go back to the court. When I walk in the court a week later, judge, I never forget this shit. She's shaking her head. So it was a gift and a curse. It was like, we got letters from youth authority saying they're not letting you back in their system. Due to your level of manipulation and sophistication, you can't go back to the CYA system. I don't know what to do with you. You're looking at 17 years. I don't know where to send you. You're 16 years old, right? And like, listen, we're going to break on this. Let me think on this. We come back after lunch. So we come back after lunch. The lady said, listen, if I will reduce your term from 17 to 7 years, will you sign the waiver that allows me to send you to the state penitentiary now? What? Would I sign a waiver? Nigga, can I go today? What are you... Now, you got to remember my mentality at that time. Niggas that went to YA, we in there, we swole, we fucked up in the head. We had a lifelong dream to go to prison anyway. Fuck it, that's what we was on. Nigga, I'm going to go to the pen with the homies, get swollen, put some work in. I'm going to get out of G. Fuck it. That was the mentality. This is the mentality because on the street, we going to steal some dogs.
Damn, you're in the Matrix, Brody. I thought it was my phone.
No, that
all this shit came together to what we thought was our lifelong goal at the time, right? So she gives me a forthwith minute order to go to prison. So maybe 3 days later, nigga, the Gray Goose, nigga, the prison bus, they leave the county jail. That bitch pulled up, nigga, in Central Juvenile Hall for the first time. I'm the first minor to go to the penitentiary from juvenile. That motherfucker pulled up like we was on movement. Dude came across the grass. He like, yeah, you got a Jones cash. He like, yeah, he right there, right? Like, yeah, we need some all this personal. He said, oh, you won't be need none of that shit, right? Nigga walked me to that motherfucking bus. I get on the bus. We on the way to Delano. Intake, reception, right? Never forget this shit. I barely got the baby mustache. Ain't no goatee. Ain't none of that going on. I got my little TWA, my little teeny witty afro that it look like an afro, but it ain't all the way afro yet, right? I got about a 17 on the hang, and I'm banging. So we get to the home take. I never forget this shit. Niggas in the motherfucker doing the roll call. Where you from? No, this crib. Right? It's this little nigga. They say, oh, we got us one.
But you was in the Matrix, big bro.
So, you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, they pick me up from Central Juvenile Hall on the penitentiary bus. They call it the Gray Goose. Pick me up, pull into the juvenile hall, pick me up for the first time. They sent me to Delano State Penitentiary. So, we on our way to Delano, intake, the reception. We get to the holding tank. They put us all in the holding tank. It's probably about 15 essays, about 10 white boys, couple Asian Islanders, and probably like 12, 13 blacks, right? So we get in the holding tank, it's roll call time. And niggas ask where you from. This nigga, everything is a Crip something, a gangster something, a neighborhood something, everything. They get to me, where you from? Paru, which one? All of them. First thing I hear is, we got us one. Right? Oh, cuz we got us one, right? This nigga from Road to 60 named Big Fish. I'll never forget this shit. You could tell this nigga was an OG nigga. This nigga looked like he on his fourth term. He jump up, he say, no, neighborhood, nigga. He say, cuz claimed his set, nigga. Head up, nigga. Some of you bust ass niggas would have been in with a bunch of bloods. Y'all wouldn't claim your set. He looked at me and said, hey, youngster, how old are you? I said, I'm 16. He said, you 16? I said, nigga, you old enough to be my son. He said, nigga, head up, nigga. I said, I can get out of this motherfucker head up with any nigga. We can run it, right? So at this time, I'm noticing everybody's scared of this nigga. They ain't got nothing to say to this nigga. So I done made a mental note. I want to be like this nigga while I'm in this penitentiary. Somehow, some motherfucking way. So now that fucked up seed, right, of what you want to become, that comes with putting in work to become that, has been planted. right? It's there. Intake. I'm sitting there 90 days. Boom, I catch the train to Solidad. Me and this nigga Fish, actually, I'm lying. And I'm not lying, I'm leaving something out. I seen a nigga come on the yard named Devil from 107 Hoop. But guess he was a G nigga. Now, those of y'all don't know, them 6-0s and them Hoovers, they don't get along. And I guess these two niggas had some history. This nigga Fish taught me a lot. He taught me what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to be, without even teaching me and telling me. That nigga came out for our little child time. This nigga didn't say nothing. He didn't waste no time. He attacked this nigga Devil viciously. It was this is the first time I've seen a penitentiary attack.
Yeah.
He attacks this nigga like to a point to where my little young ass mind and eyes is like, oh shit, this how this shit go, right?
With
he
the blicky.
Man, listen, man. No, he did attack him with his fist and the you know, in there you got the plastic spoon and fork in the intake. Remember, you take it back to your cell, right? He just attacked this nigga and he beat this nigga, man. And once he pinned him down, he was fucking him up, right? So I'm like, God damn, but you can see the rage, my nigga. Like, I didn't realize till later on once I had to check myself, bro, when we in these conditions like that, when you mixing that jail shit with that street shit and you really in that shit, you just not a sideline cheerleader, you really a player in that shit. Hey, bro, it dehumanizes us and turns us into some other shit that we should not be. Right? We lose touch of
that's some real shit.
Our feelings and emotions.
You turn into
an animal. Yeah, you become some fucked up shit, right?
You become an animal, man. Straight up.
So that's real. That's why that movie, The Animal with Vin Rames, is real. That's a real movie, right?
Hey, Wack,
check that out.
Hold on real quick. Hey, we got almost 300 people in here. Only got 53 shares. Come on, share the room. It don't cost you nothing. Sorry to cut you off, Wack.
So after that, they you know, you go to classification. They're like, yeah, you going to Solidad State Penitentiary. I said, shit. They tell that's blood headquarters. That's the headquarters for Bloods. I'm cool with that. Fuck it, right? It's home. I get on the bus. The nigga Big Fish on the bus. They didn't pull him out the hole. We on the train in Solidad. I'm telling myself, God damn, I'm just tied to this nigga, right? So we get to the penitentiary. I ain't gonna tell no lie, bro. All that tough shit, all that shit was out the motherfucking window. When we pulled up in that motherfucker and I seen them motherfucking old ass gun towers, them old ass buildings, you see these motherfucking Mexicans walking around with mustaches, look like a motherfucking mop. Nigga, the fucking correctional officers, billy clubs, they didn't have these bitches so old, there ain't no more paint on the motherfuckers, right? First thing I said was, nigga, what the fuck you done got yourself into?
And you 16.
I'm 16, right? So they I think back then it was a O-wing or X-wing was one of them. Now this motherfucker got 5 tiers. All you see is a bunch of little bitty windows and faces in them when you walking in this motherfucker, right? And I'm like, God damn. Once they throw you in that hole, in that cell, nigga, you just one of them motherfuckers in that itty bitty motherfucking window.
You were 16?
I'm 16, so I'm sitting in this motherfucker probably like 2 weeks, 10 days, 14 days or some shit. And then they classify me, they send me to the yard. So by this time, I done convinced myself, fuck it. I'm 16, I got 7 years with half. Fuck that, I'm riding. I ain't no hesitation. I'm going to get out when I'm 23. I'm going to be a G. Fuck it. I ain't trying to do no good time. Fuck it, just on. They throw me in the cell with a nigga from Palo Alto, nigga named Drag. OG nigga. He been locked up just damn near as many years I've been living. Nigga from Palo Alto Lowriders. I'll never forget. PLR, right? So he said, Young, how much time you get? God, I said, I got 7.5. How old? I said, 16. He said, oh, nigga, you straight. You be all right. Now, when you go to prison like that, and you didn't get 18 months here, 9 months here, 2 years here, nigga, when you hear niggas talk about 5 and 10 years and 8 years, oh, nigga, you be all right. Nigga, that's around the corner. you start to realize, nigga, you in some different shit.
Oh, that's
fuck you
real
mean
talk.
that's around. Fuck you mean that's around the corner, nigga? Like, oh, what you got 5 on you? You Showtime is Showtime, nigga. I just told you I got 5 years left to do, nigga. What you talking about, right? But you on the yard, this nigga done been down 13, 14. This other nigga done been down since motherfucking 1976. You know what I'm saying? You know, this shit crazy.
No, that shit wow. At least you beat all the YA games, though, nigga. Cause
no, but see, that's the difference now. Because, see, before YA, it was juvenile camp. Before juvenile camp, it was juvenile hall. So I had been through all the juvenile halls, 2, 3 juvenile camps. My mentality got right. My physical fitness got right. Then I go to the youth authority. So then that, youth authority is just a penitentiary for youth. Period. Right? You learn how to make the homemade knives. You learn all the shit, right? So by the time I got to the penitentiary, I kind of been groomed and trained for it. Unlike today, these little niggas, they arresting them, ain't did a day nowhere else. They sending them straight to prison.
Them niggas don't even get no chances, nigga. Last time I was in jail called a gun case, I was in there with Young Mozzie in like 2010. That's when Mozzie was on fire. That nigga had the whole jail sold up, bro. And I just was looking at a lot of them young cats in there. Nigga, they just get dub off the top, 25, 30.
Oh, yeah, they give them football enough, so they got to learn shit that I had 4 years of learning, nigga, how to deal with a riot, how to deal with this, that. Nigga, they ain't giving them these niggas. Nigga, you gonna bump 20 years, 30 years. This is why a lot of these little niggas is in there on drugs.
First thing they refound on me and Sebo. Me and Sebo was kids in juvenile hall. And we kicked off rides. They sent us straight to the pit. They sent us straight to YA.
I discovered Sebo in Solidad, nigga. Because, now I'm up north, right? So, I'm hearing niggas' music, nigga. Back then we had the Super 2 with the little Walkman connected to the big radio. Because the big radio was just AM FM, so we'd connect the Walkman to the radio because they had bigger speakers, so we could put a cassette tape in the motherfucker, right? Because it was a violation to be on the yard with headphones. Security breach, right? So I'm on the weight pile working out, and I kept hearing, like, man, what's this nigga, man? They like Sebo from Sacramento, 29th Street. Now, you got to remember, I didn't did all my time down south, so learning about other Crip and Blood gangs up north was different. 29th Street. I knew what Oak Parks was because we had been fucking around in Sacramento on some street shit, but like
Oak Park is the jungles of the Northern California.
Yeah, like Meadowview Power Rules and all that shit. I didn't know what none of that. I never knew that shit. You know what I mean? Never knew that shit existed, right? There's some gangs in Stockton, there's Hansford, A-Trade gangsters, and Fresno Hoovers and all kind of little shit that you learn about, right? So we in this motherfucker, bro. And in Solidad is where my mentality started to change. Now we fighting, we gang banging. We in this motherfucker. Niggas wear red penalties, wear your chucks with the red shoestrings at the top. You can do all that.
Straight up, blood.
You can do all that shit. So I learned that the Bay Area homies, they sell with the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? That's what that was, right? I watched the Fresno Bulldogs, which was the strongest gang at the time. I watched them turn Sudango right in front of me. We got all the red rags, right? I watched this shit. I witnessed this shit, right? So I also seen the difference between a northern Hispanic gang banging and a nigga from down south. The northern niggas really didn't come together on no gang bang shit till they was in jail. The Sudanos is gang banging on the street, out the gate. So it was a different kind of structure, right? So I'm in this motherfucker, I'm fighting, I'm gang banging, we doing on the yard. So I catch a motherfucking, actually it's a riot. A riot happened. I'm working in the child hall, so I steal the bread rack. Break down the bread rack to like the 13 little rods, right? I give them to all homies, nothing but Bloods. It's blacks against the essays. They didn't disrespect it. One of the Crips called him a fucking mayate or something, so it's on. Nigga, it's on. Next unlocked. We go out. The war going on. Blase. Nigga named Three Finger Louie from Harlem Crip. Never forget. Wack, watch out. When I look at my blind, as they had me. Nigga dead bang out his scene. Nigga had one of them bone crusher bangers finna tear my little young ass up, right? Three Finger Louie deal with it. Long story short, they start shooting on the yard. Staff start shooting. You know, niggas that know how to get away, you drop with that knife in your palm. You let that motherfucker ground off into that dirt, and you roll away from that motherfucker. That's just, and hope you ain't rolled by another nigga knife, right? So some niggas go to the hole. Some niggas make it back to the cell. Some niggas go to the infirmary. About 3 days after I'm in a hole, they say, Jones, roll it up. I said, what's happening? He said, yeah, you going to jail for providing weapons for the war. I said, what? He's like, yeah, you provided weapons. We got confidential information. You provided weapons for the war.
Nigga snitched on
That day is when I stopped gang banging with the hatred of a Crip, because I had to ask myself, who's my enemy? The Crip nigga that saved my life, or one of these Bloods that told on me, because they the only motherfuckers I gave knives to. So after that day, from that day forward, I never asked a nigga where they was from on no gangbang shit. I greeted them on some regular black shit. If you
that was a powerful lesson, boy.
That's a fair show. You wanted the gangbang, then that's cool. We can do that. But that's when my rebirth started. Right, with that is
Black Power boy came up, and that other side came up in there.
Yeah, so I get out, I go to the hole. They can't prove nothing. I get out 30 days later, whatever. It's back on the yard. And back then, they would drop your IDs to go to canteen, the store. They drop your IDs in a bucket. Then dude would reach in the bucket, and he call out the names to reach, and that's how niggas win in that order. Then I'm out there about 3 hours, my nigga, trying to get to the store. Then it says CO names, Correctional Officer Hinkle, black dude, right? And every time this nigga is calling names, he looking at me. And every time he dropping them IDs back in the bucket, he looking at me. So I didn't put it in my mind that this nigga is skipping my ID on purpose. This is just what I done told myself. Fuck it. Right? I told myself on Paru, next time that nigga dropped them IDs back, he don't call my name, it's on. And he did it. Man, I walked up on that nigga. I said, hey, man, dropped my motherfucking ID in that motherfucking bucket, man. What's up with you, man? That nigga looked at me. I'd never forget. He said, man, get your little slob ass away from me. Exact word. Listen, because I'm flamed up. When he said that, I fired. Bam, I get off on him. The nigga, you ever fire on a nigga, and he kind of like, he went to break down, but he took a knee. Taking the knee saved him.
Right.
He jumped up and started running. And my little stupid ass jumped up and started chasing him. Right? So the homies I hear the homies, I'm on this nigga heels. I hear the gun towers down. I think that it fired shots. I was so close to catching the nigga. Homies tackled me, rushed me to the ground. They got me on the ground. They're like, nigga, they gonna kill you. Stop moving. So they come get me, take me to the hole. Right? When they get me to the hole, they throw me in the little padded room, right? So now I ain't experienced with this shit. I'm in the pad room. About 20, 30 minutes later, I hear the stampede feet coming down, right? They open up the motherfucking cell door, and they come in on me, nigga. They got the pads and the batons. So I'm trying to fight back. I'm fighting. I ain't gonna lie. After 3 rounds of that shit, nigga, ain't no more fight, nigga. I'm fuck. Ain't nothing. Like, they didn't beat the shit out of me. I'm fucked up. Body then got numb from the pain, right? So one of the Norteño homies get out the hole. He go to the yard and he tell the homies, hey, you know your little homie, the little fucker, as they call me, little fucker, the little fucker. Yeah. Hey, they put their work on them homes, they fucking them up. Right? Like, what? Like, yeah. So Lil Man at the time, 6'2's Brim, he had the keys to the yard, right? He the first nigga that taught me the ropes of the yard, you know, where the knives at, how to do this, how to do that. Lil Man was 6'2's Brim. He was in there, he a lifer. At the time, he was a D number. Since then, he done did 27 years, he home. right? So he go to the chow hall, and the homie shut the chow hall down. Ain't nothing moving. And we hear y'all fucking over our little homie in there till we see him. We want to make sure he alive, right? So it ain't nothing but like 6 motherfucking COs in the chow hall, right? Whole chow hall shut down.
Ooh.
Motherfucking lieutenant come get me, clean me up, bring me out, and he tell me, he talking to me, how you react right now is going to determine how this shit go. Do not show no signs of what has happened to you, and I'm going to make sure you're all right. So we get back out there to the yard. The homie see I'm all right. Ask me if I'm all right. I tell him I'm straight. Cool. Take me to the home. The homies release the chow hall. When I get back to the home, I didn't realize the favor this dude was doing.
Right.
He goes and tells them, clear out this cell. I want him in this particular cell. He goes and talks to this nigga in the cell, and I ain't understanding the play. So he put me in a cell on the side of an OG nigga from BTF. He was 415 nigga named Jumping Jack. Big old tall Zulu warrior looking nigga.
Yeah.
Old nigga named Jumping Jack, right? Believe Jack out of Oakland is Frisco, one of them, right? But he was jobbing. He was BGF. So after about 3 days, I hear this dark ass voice. Hey, youngster. I said, what's up? He said, send me your motherfucking paperwork. So I'm just thinking a nigga doing a paperwork check to make sure I didn't know no bullshit, right? So I send it to the nigga. About a day and a half later, he sent me another fish line back. Pull the fish line. I'm like, nigga, for what, nigga? Do what the fuck I tell you to do. So this old nigga talking to me, right? This old crazy motherfucker, right? So I pulled the fish line over there. It's a Title 15 book, which I had never looked at, and it's appeal paperwork. He done went through my paperwork and appealed my whole case, right? So the sergeant, this was him looking out for me. This was a sergeant looking out for me. He tell Jumping Jack, I guess, to assist me with appealing my paperwork because he knew something I didn't know. So the fact that dude called me, because they filed on me, and I had a new case, assault on a peace officer. But the fact that dude called me a slob, I guess it was provoking. And because it was provoking, right, dude committed the violation before I committed the violation.
Ooh,
so Jumping Jack, I guess, was one of them jailhouse lawyer niggas. He was a lifer nigga that been out at the time, maybe like 18 years and shit. So this is how the lieutenant was repaying me for going with the flow, keeping that shit to going up in the child hall. I sent the shit in. First thing they did was drop the case in the courts. But you know, they ain't let me off that easy. They still gave me a shoe turn, right? So I was in the hole probably about 12, 13 months, going back and forth to court and waiting on the appeals to come back. So they give me an 18-month shoe turn. So my time pretty much damn near done. They're like, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep you here another 2 months, ship your ass up out of here, and then we're going to let them do what they're going to do with you. So I end up at Pleasant Valley State Penitentiary, level 3 yard. I get there, and the little 48 days I had left on my shoe turn, they make me do it in the hole, and then from there I hit the yard. And then a whole nother chapter began.
You were super fast.
Oh, yeah. So that one picture right here, like the one picture, this was right here. Watch this picture and this picture. I was probably about 19, 18 and a half. This Pleasant Valley, I was about 19, 18 and a half, 19, right? So that right there, that picture of my PTR, and I was 19 years old. Pleasant Valley. I'm banged the fuck out. I'm on some other shit. I ain't giving a fuck about nothing. Ain't nothing but power rules of religion. That's all I know, and that's what it is. I'm that fucked up in the head.
Yo, Wack. What you waiting on for the book, bro? I feel like we sitting here reading them.
No, you gotta remember, man. You gotta remember, bro. And you gotta remember, I ain't even started it.
At 12.
I started in the middle, so. Yeah,
man,
so
this shit was so interesting. I ain't gonna lie, that's a movie.
Yeah, so it's like
you need to put the movie together, Wack.
But I'm gonna tell you what's unique about the story. Is the story didn't turn out like they usually turn out. A nigga over here on the corner on heroin, or a nigga doing life, or a nigga dead. The story turns out as right now I'm on Clubhouse with you niggas, talking to you niggas in Miami, finna go jump on this jet and get the fuck back to LA.
Nigga,
right? So It's a total. I definitely got to do it. I got to slow down. I just got to slow down. I told my wife, I'm like, yo, you need to take that project and put it together, cause she can put it, cause she been there from the beginning. Like she been there. Like, you know, me and this woman met when I was 9 years old, and my little freaky ass, we playing hide go get it, and I watched when she went to hide, cause I needed that kiss. You know what I'm saying? And I had older brothers, so you know I'm watching what they doing on the side of the house. So she thought she was gonna give me the pet, and I hit her with the lizard. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you a little bit more advanced, Wack. Hey, Wack, you more advanced. Hey, cause you got nigga, I'm the baby. Oh, I got older brothers and uncles, nigga. You know, nigga, back then it was the Playboy magazines we got stashed on the side of the house. Oh yeah, I know where I shit went. You know, back then, nigga, we seen some hair on some coochie. We went crazy. That's why I tell niggas, that's bro. I tell niggas, bro, in my time, if you was fucking with a vagina that was bald, you was in violation. Oh, I ain't shit. Hey, nigga. Wait, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Yeah.
So what you mean I used to be friends? Like when you say friends, can you break it down? Like
when I say what?
Friends. When you say I used to be friends with your wife.
No, you got because we was friends first. So we was friends. Like nigga, we would just see each other. Nigga, I was putting around on my little scooter or some shit. She was the cheerleader for the Pop Warner football team. We went to the motherfucking Boys and Girls Club together. But then even when we hooked up, it was like we did everything together. We went to the movies. Nigga, we didn't start our day without talking to each other, seeing each other. We didn't end our day without talking to each other, seeing each other. So it's like when you when you get into it, right? If you ain't got nothing, it's like with your homies. You know what, nigga? I got my whole operation. I'm getting my own money. Nigga, these niggas is leeching anyway. Man, fuck these niggas. I don't need these niggas.
How you rise to Death Row then?
Death Row came after I got out the penitentiary. You got to remember, bro, that Suge kept his ear to the streets of the penitentiary. Any nigga getting out the penitentiary on swole, in there known for putting in work, nigga, it was known on that yard. Pull up on the road, they waiting on you. That's why I told y'all, I didn't do music business. I didn't do music business at Death Row, bro. Suge I ain't never did a music deal with that nigga. The deals I did bring him here, fuck him up. My first music business in the office, nigga, came with my first deal with Ray J, Sexy Cattle. That's my first project. Other than that, it was putting in work. You know what I'm saying? That niggas was on some.
That's how we motherfucker was raised back then. You had to put in work.
Nah, yeah, that's just what it was, bro. And that's why, bro, I swear, you cannot find a kid, a nobody, that can tell you Wack, right? Wack was there when they got put on, had them put on, any of that shit, bro. It's not nobody that can say Wack supervised that, I stamped that, none of that shit, bro. I do not. A nigga can't get jumped on the hood in front of me, none of that. I send a nigga to the motherfucking, to the Marines or to some shit like that before I allow that to happen in front of me, bro.
That's some real
shit.
You
that. I'm like, bro, I don't condone that shit because I know that come from that shit, bro. That shit ain't
for real.
You know what I'm saying? So, the best I can do is just not add to it. This is why I'm the way I am. When you niggas be like, yo, man, how that nigga do business? Do the Crip. He signed this niggas. It was a seed already put in me on that yard when that Crip nigga saved my life. I don't give a fuck where you from. Like, I don't care. The nigga, me and you straight, we all right. Nigga, that's just what it is. I'm going to go on your relationship and my relationship, you know?
Hey, Wack, no bullshit.
So Suge really was smart as hell.
No bullshit, homie. When I hear you say that shit fucking sparked just some real shit. Like when I got out of YA, the Crip niggas from Stockton, Prince Starworth, Ralph White, these niggas own half of Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
Them niggas put me on, niggas, straight out of YA. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like none of my homies put me on. None of that, nigga. That made me look at shit different. That's why I fucked with C-Bo. You know what I'm saying? That's why niggas didn't understand, you know, how a nigga was moving. You know what I mean?
Nah, bro. Hey, listen, man. And this real, some of my closest friends, my nigga, like some of the people that's in my wife and my kids' phone book, they ain't from my side. It's a lot of them from my side, but it's, you know, I got real crib partners, bro, that love me to death. Like, niggas yeah, niggas, bro, it's niggas. You know how many times I pulled up, and what y'all doing out here with this shit? Oh, man, the homie got killed. Well, who's that? Oh, you talking about the older nigga? That's a good nigga. Yeah, Wack, man, niggas over here. Fuck. Hey, yo, bro, take them signs down, bro. That nigga name, we can't go. I got it. Yo, Wack, I got it. Don't trip. Hey, yo, Wack. Like, it's certain areas to where you say, that's why I tell niggas, I be like, look, bro, that Crip and Blood shit don't work with me. Depending on where you at, you gonna get a different reaction out of one of them niggas, because I did some things. I been there. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real shit. It's niggas that...
Wack, you ever see the nigga, 3 Finger or 4 Finger Louie? You ever see
I never seen 3 Finger Louie, and Big Fish is crazy. He just passed away. May God rest his soul from rolling 60s. I got a chance to talk to him. He had came home about 5 years ago or so, and Draws, Big U, that, you know, think he might have been either him and Draws the same age. He from an era above him, and Draws said, man, let me ask you a question, man. My brother tell me this, that. He like, yeah, man, the little power root nigga, man, that little nigga, the little swole little youngster, man, yeah, the little nigga was down as a motherfucker. They tried to get him. I wasn't letting it happen. And Draws called me on the phone. He said, Wack, you ain't gonna never guess who I got in front of me. And it was that. I got a chance to talk to him, and he passed like maybe 6 months later. But I never got a chance to him. And then my boy Damian Washington from Portrait Gangster, I got to give salute to him because he helped me step my squabble up. Me and that nigga had about 19 fights. We used to be the little swollest niggas on the unit. As soon as we seeing each other, we would lock up like 2 motherfucking pit bulls. We had so many fights, we got to the point to where it wasn't no use in fighting.
Hey, tell the truth, after you niggas fought all that many times, nigga, you niggas became friends after that.
We started turning it up on other niggas. We didn't give a fuck where you was from. We was in cahoots. Nigga Washington, Babyface from Portrait Gangster, man, yeah. Good nigga, man. That's the nigga, he the first nigga I seen them little white stars with.
Nigga really think you lying when you tell him you had to run 19 in a row, nigga.
Niggas was fighting, bro. Me and that nigga was fighting. Everybody know. I think we was the most historical fights in juvenile halls. Me and that nigga was fighting like a it got to the point the stab be like, look, man, let them niggas get that shit out the way, man. Don't stop them, because they gonna keep going anyway. Just let them get over with.
They sent my ass straight to YA from juvenile hall. I went from girls' school to motherfucking the boys' ranch. From the boys' ranch, they refound on my ass. They like, you get this nigga straight to YA. Nigga, they kicked my ass straight out of that motherfucking boy every time.
Yeah, so you know, these days, when I see the youngsters, I tell them, look, man, I'm not glorifying this shit. I'm letting you know I come from this shit, and guess what? Nigga, I come from this shit, and it ain't got to turn out like you think it's going to turn out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you already did the time for him.
And we told them it's cool, and we told them niggas it's cool to, go rob a nigga. It's cool to do. That's what they did. What the OGs told them it was cool to do. So now I'm telling them, hey, look, nigga, it's cool to go to school. It's cool to have a job, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You
want to be like, nigga, that's the sensible thing to do.
Yeah, but see, we got to tell them that. Because for so many years, it was bred into us that it was cool to do the fuck shit, other shit. You know what I mean?
But you gotta look, Wack. We wasn't wired right, nigga. With that, we was taught to do that shit we was doing, nigga. We that, you know what I'm saying? No, nigga was really trained for that shit. That shit ain't normal.
Nah, well, you got to remember, when you growing up and then you young and you see your brother come home with a black eye, and what happened? The niggas across the street did it. And then you hear that, the homie down the street, the older homie who helped you put together your mini bikes, he got shot. Who did it? The niggas down the street, across the street did it. Who did this across the street? As a youngster, you just naturally start hating the niggas across the street. Now, you don't realize that this shit started because Lil CeeLo and Big D-Dog was fucking the same broad, and because they had a fight and one lost, and that nigga was from where they was from, right? That's how war started. You don't realize that shit till later on. It's too late, and
That's
50
how-
niggas dead.
And that's how Sacramento is. These young niggas don't even know they fighting over two pimps two pimps, nigga. Shit, they don't even know what the war is over. And these niggas
Hey, bro, let me tell you something about Sac. I'm gonna fuck you up. And you know when I tell you this is real, right? Probably about 89, I was a pup, about 12, right? My brother and them went up there, they set up shop. You niggas' work was moving for like 900 hard. We doing like 350 soft stepping on it, right?
Yeah.
So I was jumping on the Greyhound bus as a kid, pants flood, backpack fucked up, right?
All right.
Going up the way. We had a spot off of Broadway, address 2518 X Street. I'll never forget this.
Well, shit, you was in the P.
Listen, because I remember when we used to get on the freeway off Broadway, it was a U-Haul right at the corner.
Yeah, you was in the P.
Listen, so when we go up there, I think y'all's was doing like 900 at the time, so we go up there with the 750. We doubling our number, so we fucking with the, you know, they ain't with that shit. I'm gonna tell you something that you probably heard about. You never heard about the story of the bang out inside the Ard Mall?
Hell yeah, nigga, what are you talking about?
Yeah, there you go, nigga. Yeah.
Period. That's period.
Yeah, because them niggas
I'm Jay Wack up here, nigga. I hear everything.
Bro, they come to Sears to get up there. Them niggas hit our front door with a gauge. I'll never forget. These niggas had, I didn't know slug, they made a slug bullet for a 12 gauge. I never knew
Hell
that.
Yeah, nigga, you should be buckshot slug.
Yeah, we used to use buckshot, nigga. I'm like, man, what the fuck they shoot through this motherfucker with, right? So they trying to get us out of Sac because we knocking the sales. Nigga, 750, that's 150 off of what they, nigga, these niggas gotta go. So we do.
Yeah, you was in the P, nigga.
We get into it at that Taco Bell on Broadway, a squabble, and then at this time it was damn near like the Oak Parks and the 29th Street and some other shit kind of lightweight come together and said, we gonna get these niggas the fuck up out of here.
Hey, nigga, that's what niggas don't know. Did you just hear what you said?
Bro, listen, nigga, that's how that happened.
Did you hear what you said?
That happened inside the Ordinal, the Exchange. We hit the 99 South and never came back. And we left everything in the spot because it got fucked up in the mall. We was out.
Because, nigga, they can lie all about that, boy. That Oak Park and the South area, them niggas would come together.
That shit was different. And see, look.